Every night, at exactly 2:13 a.m., something happens on Platform 3. Not a train, not an announcement, not even a breeze. Just her. She stands at the edge of the platform, motionless, pale, dressed in white. And if you blink, she's gone. The workers at the station don't talk about her anymore. The locals pretend she's just an old story. But if you ask the night guards, the few who stayed long enough to see it with their own eyes, they'll tell you one thing. She isn't just a ghost. She's still waiting for something, or someone. And every time she appears, something bad follows. This is the true story of the haunted railway station and the ghost who refuses to leave Platform 3. There's an old railway station on the edge of a quiet town. It doesn't show up in tourist maps. Most people don't even remember its name. But if you ever find yourself near it, you'll know. It's not the broken benches or the rusted signs that make it strange. It's the air. It feels heavier there. Still, the station is half forgotten, barely running a few late-night trains that pass without stopping. Most of the ticket windows are boarded up. Paint peels from the walls like dried skin. The clocks haven't worked in years. And yet, Platform 3 is always clean. Almost too clean. Locals say no one ever sees the cleaners there. The dust just never settles. And after midnight, something changes. Even the stray dogs that roam the station vanish. The sounds fade. There's no wind, no insects, just silence, and the faint echo of footsteps when no one's around. For years, workers have passed down stories, never written, never confirmed, but always remembered. A woman, alone, always appearing at the same time, always standing at the same spot on Platform 3. Most people think it's just an urban legend, but the ones who've worked the night shift, they'll never joke about it. They don't just fear what they saw, they fear what comes after. And what's worse, Platform 3 wasn't always haunted. Something happened there, something no one talks about anymore. But the ghost? She never left. It's not just the silence that creeps in after dark, it's the feeling that something else is waiting on that platform. It happened over 40 years ago. One stormy night, a woman was found dead on Platform 3. No one saw it happen. There were no witnesses, just the sound of a scream, swallowed by the thunder, and then silence. The official report said she slipped under an oncoming train. A terrible accident, nothing more. But there was something strange. She had no ID, no phone, no luggage, just a soaked white sari and a necklace clutched so tightly in her hand, it had cut into her skin. The authorities waited for someone to claim her body. A husband, a friend, anyone. But no one came. Not that day, not ever. They buried her in an unmarked grave behind the station. Quietly, quickly, and that's when the stories began. It started small. A night guard reporting someone walking the platform after hours. Then a cleaner saying he heard a woman crying in the waiting room, only to find it empty. But then, every report began sounding the same. 2:13 a.m. A woman standing near the edge of Platform 3. Pale skin, soaked dress, eyes staring straight ahead, as if waiting for a train that never comes. Sometimes she vanishes when approached. Other times, she turns to look at you. And if she does, something changes. Light bulbs begin to flicker. The air turns cold. And for weeks afterward, those who saw her complain of nightmares. Terrifying ones. Of being dragged along railway tracks, of screams that don't stop, of drowning in the sound of a train that never hits. Still, no one knows who she was. Some say she was waiting for someone that never showed. Others think she was pushed. A few believe she jumped. But those who've seen her, they're sure of only one thing. She's still waiting. And whatever happened that night on Platform 3 left more than just a body behind. Her death was sudden. Her body mangled. But her presence never left. And what's worse, some say she's still waiting for the train that killed her. You can call it a myth, a legend, a bedtime story for thrill seekers. But then explain this. Ramesh Mehra, a security guard who worked the night shift in 2002, quit after just 11 days. In a taped interview, he said, "I saw her. It was real. She wasn't floating or glowing or anything like in movies. She looked alive, too alive, just standing there, holding her necklace like she was praying. Then she turned toward me and smiled. Not a happy smile, a broken one. Like she knew something I didn't. I left my post that night. Never went back. Years later, an old station master's journal from 1997 was found in an abandoned locker. One entry read, 2:13 a.m., saw the woman again. She looked sad this time, as if she's tired of waiting. I don't think she's angry. I think she's lonely. But the birds didn't return this morning. No pigeons, no dogs, just silence. The handwriting in the journal gets more frantic with each entry, until it suddenly stops. No retirement paperwork was ever filed for that station master. He was never seen again. Priya, a student traveling back from her college festival in 2010, missed her train. She stayed behind on the platform with one friend, waiting for the next one. Her friend fell asleep. Priya didn't. She remembers hearing soft footsteps, then breathing. Close. There was no one there, she said. But I felt a hand brush mine. Cold. Wet. I couldn't scream. I couldn't move. My ears were ringing. Then I passed out. Priya was found by railway police the next morning, unconscious, curled up on the exact spot where the woman had died decades ago. She never took the train again. One of the strangest stories comes from Sahil, a junior maintenance worker in 2019. He thought he saw an elderly woman near the tracks, swaying like she was about to fall. She looked confused, he said. I called out to her, asked if she needed help. She didn't answer, just kept walking toward the end of the platform. So I followed her. But when he reached the end, there was no one, just his own footprints, and one other set, barefoot, wet, disappearing over the edge of the platform. Sahil quit a week later. He never explained why, but before he left, he told one of his friends something strange. It's not just seeing her that haunts you, he whispered. It's what happens after. Like, she stays with you, in your mind, in your dreams. You carry her with you, and she waits. She waits until you're alone. Everyone who's seen her says the same thing. It's not just seeing her that haunts you. It's what happens after. As the years passed, the stories didn't stop. They got worse. It wasn't just sightings anymore. Something was starting to affect the station itself. The security cameras on Platform 3, they stopped recording between 2:10 and 2:20 a.m. every single night, no matter how new the system is. Technicians have tried everything, rewiring, replacing, even switching brands. Nothing works. The footage during those 10 minutes always comes back corrupted, just static, or sometimes the flash of something that looks like a face. Maintenance workers have reported tools going missing, only to find them arranged neatly along the tracks the next day, always facing the direction of the train that killed her. Motion sensors pick up movement at 2:13 a.m., even when the station is completely empty. Lights flicker, but only on Platform 3. Sometimes, the PA system will randomly burst into static at night, followed by a woman's voice. Faint, muffled. No one can make out what she's saying. And trains? They malfunction. Drivers have reported sudden braking systems failing. Red signals turning green without command. Speed controls dropping to 0 just as they approach Platform 3, as if something doesn't want them to arrive. Even animals sense it. Dogs refuse to walk across Platform 3. They bark, whine, and pull away from their owners. Some even freeze, staring at nothing with their tails between their legs. The station staff eventually stopped assigning night shifts near that platform. They quietly locked the far-end doors after midnight. But still, people kept trying to prove it was just a myth. In 2015, a small YouTube ghost hunting channel decided to film a 24-hour investigation at the station. They brought EMF detectors, night vision cameras, thermal gear, everything. They set up 5 cameras. For worked perfectly. The 5th, the one pointed at Platform 3, it went black at 2:13 a.m., just for 3 minutes. When the footage resumed, the camera had moved, slightly tilted down, as if something had touched it. They didn't post the video. Why? Because one of the team members, the one who reviewed the footage, went missing 2 days later. No note, no warning, no signs of struggle, just gone. The others quit ghost hunting, deleted their channel. When a journalist tracked them down years later and asked if they thought it was real, one of them replied quietly, "It's not just a ghost. It's a wound. Something was broken there, and it never healed. You don't just see her, you invite her in. You can try to capture her, film her, speak to her. But every time you get close, something pushes you back. Something that doesn't want the truth revealed. For decades, she was just a ghost with no name. A blurry face in the dark, a whisper in the static. But then something changed. In 2021, an amateur historian named Anjali Varma became obsessed with the case. She lived just 2 towns away and had heard the stories since she was a kid. She didn't believe in ghosts. She believed in unfinished stories. Anjali began digging through newspaper archives, hospital records, old police files, anything connected to the night the woman died on Platform 3. Most of the documents were gone, lost, or quietly erased. But eventually, she found something. A missing persons report from 1978, filed just 2 days before the accident. The report described a 29-year-old woman named Meera Joshi, school teacher, soft-spoken, lived alone, reported missing by her younger sister. The description? White sari, silver necklace with a red stone pendant, the same necklace that had been clutched in the dead woman's hand. Anjali kept digging, and the deeper she went, the darker it got. Meera had been engaged to a man named Dev Malhotra, a railway engineer, but their relationship had soured. Dev had been accused of taking bribes, falsifying reports, cutting corners on train safety protocols. He was suspended just weeks before Meera disappeared. Rumors in the town claimed Meera had found out something that could have gotten him arrested. A fight, a confrontation, and then silence. 2 days later, a woman with no ID falls under a train at Platform 3. Dev vanished from public records that same week. No job history, no address, no trace, and the file? Closed, marked accidental. But Anjali was convinced. Meera Joshi didn't fall. She was silenced. And the guilt, the injustice, the unfinished truth, it stuck to that platform like a stain no one could scrub clean. Anjali published a blog about her findings. A few months later, she stopped updating it. Her final post? I went to Platform 3 last night. I think she saw me. I don't think she's angry anymore. I think she just wants someone to listen, someone to believe her. If I'm gone for a while, check the recordings. The post is still online. The comments are turned off. And Anjali, no one's heard from her since. What if she wasn't just a victim of an accident? What if someone wanted her gone? In 2023, a man named Ravi Thakur volunteered for a documentary being filmed about haunted railway stations across India. He was a skeptic, a hard one. I've seen enough shadows and smoke machines, he joked in a behind-the-scenes clip. This one's just another urban myth with good PR. He agreed to do what no one else would. Spend one full night, completely alone, on Platform 3. No crew, no support, just a GoPro, a body mic, and a small flashlight. What happened that night was never aired, but parts of the footage were leaked. And what they show is deeply disturbing. The video begins normal. Ravi joking, laughing, walking around the empty platform. Nothing but rats and bad lighting, he says. But then the tone shifts. 1:57 a.m. He starts hearing faint footsteps, too slow to be his own. 2:03 a.m. His flashlight flickers. He stops laughing, starts whispering to the camera. Okay, either someone's messing with me, or I'm hearing things. Sounds like someone's crying. 2:10 a.m. The audio begins to distort. Static creeps in. A shadow passes behind him, clearly visible, but when he turns, no one's there. He starts to panic. Okay, I'm done. Crew, you guys better be on the other side of this, or I swear. Then, 2:13 a.m. Silence. His flashlight goes out. The camera image gets grainy, shaky, but just for a second, you can see her. The woman, standing inches away from him. Her head tilted, her eyes wide, her mouth slightly open, as if she's trying to speak, but no words come out. Ravi's breathing grows louder, more erratic. He starts crying, and then, barely audible, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. The camera cuts to black. Ravi was found the next morning, sitting on the tracks, alive, silent, eyes open, but he wouldn't speak. Not a word. Not to the crew, not to his family, not to anyone. Doctors diagnosed him with trauma-induced mutism, but he kept writing one thing on a notepad. over and over. She was waiting for someone to say sorry. She was waiting for someone to say sorry. She didn't want revenge. She just wanted to be heard. She heard me. Ravi never returned to the station. He now lives in a small hill town, far from trains, far from the city, and far from Platform 3. But he still leaves a light on every night, just in case she visits. If you've ever stood on Platform 3 and felt cold fingers brush your shoulder, don't turn around. She's not looking for help. She's looking for him. The story of Platform 3 isn't just about a haunting. It's about something deeper. A life that ended too quietly. A woman who disappeared without justice. And a place that refuses to forget. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, you have to admit, something happened there. Something strong enough to linger. Strong enough to warp time. Strong enough to wait. Because that's what makes this haunting so different. It doesn't chase people. It doesn't scream. It just waits. Silently. Patiently. Every single night at 2:13 a.m. As if she knows that eventually, someone will come back. Someone who pushed her. Someone who left her. Or someone like you. Curious, a little too close, watching a video just like this. And you might think, it's just a story. Just another internet mystery. But if you ever visit that station, don't stand too long near Platform 3. Don't stare into the darkness near the edge. And whatever you do, don't wait. Because she's already waiting for you. If you're still watching, tell me in the comments. Do you think Mira Joshi was really a ghost? Or just the memory of a woman this world tried to erase? And hey, if you ever missed the last train, don't look back. Like the video, subscribe for more horror like this, and remember, some platforms never go quiet. They just learn to whisper.